1890, at the School for the Blind in Paris, the blind students learned through tangible writing system using by dots, which was invented by Captain Charles Barbier, a French army officer. Then, Braille was first developed about 1820 by a young Frenchman named Louis Braille, who himself a blind person. He produced Braille by modifying a system of night writing that was intended for use by nighttime or by artillery crews. At the age of 18, he found that reading and writing with dots was much faster and easier than the reading raised print letters. The development of the system by young Louis Braille is now recognized as the most important reading and writing medium for the visually impaired. It took more than a century to accept Braille as an excellent way for the visually impaired to read and write. Even today, many people underestimate the usefulness of Braille. Though the CDs and other recorded synthesized speech materials are enjoyable, but Braille is vital for note-taking and helps in teaching maths, spelling and foreign languages. The skilled Braille readers can read Braille as like print readers. They can read 200 to 400 words per minute. But the only limitation of the Braille is there is no availability of enough Braille materials. In India, generally, the visually impaired students use Braille, Slate and Stylus and mechanical Braille writers. Young visually impaired children use Slate and Stylus for their writing. Older students use mechanical Braille writer. The main aim and objectives of teaching Slate and Stylus to the visually impaired children include the students will be able to identify the parts of the slate and stylus, to identify dot positions on the slate, to orient slate for reading and writing, insert paper into slate, to punch the Braille letters on slate, to skip spaces on slate, to write Braille words, paras and sentences, to reread what was written and make corrections, and to practice to use slate to take notes in the classroom. The slate and stylus are tools or equipments used by visually impaired persons to write text that they can read without depending on others. Slate and stylus are assisting the students for speedy writing, easy to carry, convenient and continuous mode for making embossed Braille dots to write Braille characters. The Braille slate consists of arrangements of dots that create letters of the alphabet, numbers and punctuation marks. The basic Braille symbol is called the Braille cell and consists of 6 dots arranged in the formation of rectangle, 3 dots high and 2 across. All symbols, letters and numbers consist of one or more of these 6 dots. The 6 dots are commonly referred to by number according to the position of the cell. A slate and stylus is a tool used by visually impaired students to read and write with Braille letters as like a pen or pencil used by a print reader. The pen or pencil is designed to write in a paper and the slate and stylus is intended to punch raised dots on the Braille sheets. As like pen and pencils, the slate and stylus is also not very expensive. It is simple to use and easy to carry to classrooms for note-taking purpose. And as like pen and pencils, variety of styles and sizes are available. Stylus has metal point for punching the dot into the page and a small handle that can be firmly and comfortably gripped by an index finger and thumb. Although the shape and size of the handle may vary, all stylus will have a metal point for embossing Braille dots. The typical slate is made either of metal or plastic. The most common type of slate, called the pocket slate, is about the width of an average piece of paper and maybe 4 or 6 lines of Braille height. It is hinged and opens like a book so that the paper is sandwiched between two parts of the slate. The top piece of the slate has small, evenly spaced opening the precise size and the shape of the Braille cell. These are called windows. The bottom piece is solid with a small indentations for each dot so that the Braille dots will be consistent in shape and size. Again, Slate comes in different models to suit different writing needs. There is a Slate, for example, especially designed to used as a guide for 3 by 5 note cards. All slates will have a top and bottom guide as described. Together, a slate and stylus weigh about 2 ounces. Both are easily carried in a pocket or in a school bag. When Louis Braille and his classmates studied at the Royal Institute for Blind at Paris, wrote Braille. They used the writing equipment which is similar to the slate and stylus which is used by the students now. For a long time, the students of visually impaired continued with the same method. The slate and stylus are weightless, inexpensive and not needed batteries or electricity to operate and fit easily in your pocket, purse or briefcase. People who are blind use a slate and stylus the same way sighted people use a pad of paper and a pencil. Now we will see about the slate. A slate is made of two plastic or metal parts hinged together so that a piece of paper can be put between them. The top part of the slate has rows of windows like openings. Each window is the same size as a Braille cell. The bottom part has shallow depressions arranged in groups of 6 to represent the dots of a Braille cell. Each group of depressions is directly under one of the windows in the top part of the slate. What is stylus? A stylus is a pointed tool used to punch raised dots in the paper. Using the window-like openings in the slate as a guide, the student punches with the point of the stylus against the paper and into one of the depressions, thus punching raised a dot into a paper. We can use any paper to punch a dot, but if the paper is too light, we cannot have good impression and may fade easily. If we use too heavy paper, it is difficult to punch it. Regular chart paper is suitable for writing with a slate and stylus. Place the slate in front of the child with the windows part of the slate up and the hinged side on the left side of the student. While opening the slate, it will open from right to left like a book. Don't try to open the slate backwards. It will break the hinges. Notice that there is a small peg sticking up in each corner of the right hand side of the slate and a little hole in each corner on the left hand side. Place a piece of paper over the right hand of the slate. The top of the paper should be in the top of the slate, the left side next to the hinges. Now close the window part of the slate over the paper as like a closing a book and push it down firmly. We will hear the sound from 4 corner pegs poking through the paper into the corresponding holes to fix the paper in the place. Now the slate is ready for use. Writing in reverse. While writing Braille with slate and stylus, we must write from right to left and the Braille characters in reverse. The raised dots appear on the back side of the paper. When the paper is turned over, the dots face upward and it can be felt with the fingers. With the stylus, while we punch a letter A, begin with the last window in the top row. Punch a dot in the top right corner of the cell, the number 4 position. This will appear raised in the number 1 position. When the paper is turned over, now move to the next window and make the letter B by punching the dots 1 and 2. The letter C is easy. It is at top of 2 dots of the cell. While writing words, skip a cell to leave a space between the words. After completing all the rows in the slate, open the slate, move the slate down the paper to where there is no Braille writing. Close the slate and begin writing again. This is a way writing in the 4-line Braille slate. If we write it in A4 size Braille slate which has a 25 line, 28 cells with full page slate, There is no need to down the paper. Without moving the paper, we can write continuously till the end of the line. When you are through with writing, open the slate, remove the paper and turn it over to read the braille what you wrote. The two larger holes on the left side holds the paper tightly. The sighted children are learning to write with pencil or pen. As like sighted children, we should develop ability to write quickly readable notes with a cheap and simple by using the slate and stylus. If she or he learn braille, they can write down information immediately to read and to review anywhere at any time. Also, they can take class notes, taking telephone messages, take down the names and addresses. The uses of braille, slate and styluses. It is an outstanding tool for writing and editing. It is helpful for doing homeworks for primary school children. It can be easily carried away. Packet braille slates are useful for college students. A brailler, also called as a mechanical braille writer, is a kind of braille typewriter. Paper is inserted from in the machine. The raised braille dots that are made into the paper can be read with the fingers. Identifying the keys. There is a row of keys across the lower part of the brailler. The large key in middle is the space bar. Use it to make a blank space between words and sentences. The three smaller keys to the left and to the right of the space bar correspond to the 6 dots in the braille cell and are used to make the braille characters. How to use a brailler? Imagine the braille cells spread out in line like 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6. Transfer this pattern to the braille keyboard. The key immediately to the left of the space bar is dot 1. The next key to the left is dot 2. The third key to the left is dot 3. The key immediately to the right of the space bar is dot 4. The next key to the right is dot 5. The third key to the right is dot 6. In your mind, number your fingers. Left hand pointer is dot 1. Middle finger is dot 2. The ring finger is dot 3. In your right hand, the pointer is dot 4. Middle finger is dot 5. The ring finger is dot 6. To make a letter A with your left hand finger, pointer finger, press 1. It will give you the letter A. To make the letter B, press the keys for dots 1 and 2, both the fingers at the same time. If you press, you will get letter B. To write the word run, press the keys for dots 1, 2, 3 and 5 at the same time for getting R. Dots 1, 3, 6 at the same time for U. And for the 1, 3, 4, 5, you have to press simultaneously to get the word N. Now you have braille the word run. Press the space bar and braille the another word. A brailler, also called a braille writer. It is a kind of a braille typewriter. Paper is inserted from the machine. The raised braille dots that are made into the paper can be read with the fingers. It is a matter of matching the dot numbers in the alphabet chart with the corresponding finger and keys to the brailler. The objectives of teaching the use of braille writer. The child will be able to tactually identify dot positions on a swing cell or alternative device, helping to identify various parts of the brailler. To learn fingering, to load and unload the paper into the braille writer, to identify position, right, left and margin stops, using a braille eraser to make corrections, and learning to type letters, words on a line and then return to the next line. Teaching to braille numbers, punctuation marks, learning to type in a paragraph, to write page numbers, footnotes on a page. What are the prerequisite skills we need? The prerequisite skills needed for learning braille. Students learning to use braille must acquire the following skills. Tactual discrimination. The ability to discriminate Discrete tactual differences is essential to become efficient in Braille reading. Don't try to teach dot numbers. Help them to learn the configuration for the letter. It will improve the reading speed. Finger dexterity. The effective Braille reader will have curious fingers that move quickly with ease. Many readers use all 4 fingers of each hand. This speeds up the reading process by allowing the reader a view of series of symbols rather than a single cell. Hand and finger movements. Teach to use both 4 fingers to read Braille is good method. Teach students to begin reading a line of Braille by placing both hands at the beginning of a line. At the middle of the line, the right hand continues to read till the end of the line, whereas the left hand moves to the opposite direction to locate the beginning of the next line. The right hand finishes the reading the first line, the left hand then reads the first words on the next line, and the right hand is quickly joins to the left hand on the second line. Light finger touch. At the beginning, students may have a heavy touch. A light touch can be learned through various activities. Paste a thread in a straight line and ask the child to slide their fingers across the thread without moving a paper. And the similar activities will improve the child's practice and attention to the task, as well as the child will learn to move his hands smoothly from left to right without stopping. Page turning. The student should be instructed to turn the page quickly with the right hand when the left hand cannot find another line. There are several methods used for writing Braille. This includes the Perkin Braille writer, often called a Brailler, and Slate and Stylus is a portable note-taking devices, and the Braille embossers used with specialized computer software. The Perkins Braille writer has not changed much in the last 100 years. It's like a typewriter. When we push down the keys, the embossing head makes indentation on the paper. Perkins Brailler. The standard Perkins Brailler has 6 keys, a space bar, a backspace key, a carriage return, and a line feed key. Braille writers use heavy weight paper. Mountbatten Brailler. The Mountbatten Brailler is an electronic Braille writer, note taker, and embosser. It integrates modern computer technology and has application to support embossing, reading, and file storage, and it has audio support for all its operations. The adaptive technology has been designed to meet the needs of blind students in today's environment, especially in early Braille instruction as a foundation tool for literacy. Perkins Smart Brailler. The Perkins Smart Brailler has a small video screen attached to the front of the Braille writer that displays sim Braille and large print combined with audio feedback. It allows users to edit, save, and transfer the electronic documents via USB, and it also features built-in software with lessons for Braille beginners. Features of Smart Brailler. It motivates the students and builds confidence by using the standard Braille keyboard combined with immediate audio feedback, and they will receive hard copy of Braille output. It enables better collaboration between students and sighted teachers or parents by using Roman letters on the display screen to mirror what is being brailled. It allows visually impaired to save and transfer their work as a text file via USB port so that sighted teachers, parents can read the documents on a computer. It is available with a headphone jack and volume control. It is available with rechargeable and removable battery. Easy to load papers and avoids paper jamming.